Welcome guys, in this video I will go over my top 3 most wanted game mechanic nerfs to PUBG. These are all part of the current meta in the game, meaning that players have over time found the most effective tactic available and the smartest way of using game mechanics to gain advantages. And over time, these have not been addressed by developers or even made worse. And I think it's time for the PUBG devs to have a serious look into these things. 1. Drive-by shootings. Probably not a surprise to a lot of you that I think this needs nerfing the most. While doing a drive-by, you have a massive advantage over the stationary target. If you don't think this is the case, then just wait for me to list the benefits of being the drive-by shooter. Number 1. You can engage and disengage whenever you want to. Being the player in the vehicle, you can easily pick and choose your fights, and if the fight looks bad, simply turn around and drive away. If you are the player without a car, it might not be possible since the car moves much faster than you. 2. Element of surprise. It's not only possible to instantly swap seat with no prior warning for your opponent, but you can also do so while your vehicle is rolling with the engine off while barely making any sound at all. When an enemy sees you coming, he has to assume that you're going to do a drive-by and find appropriate cover, because if he doesn't, he could easily fall victim to a swift death. Number 3. Your aim from the car is super stable, making even sniping from a vehicle viable. This is obviously a very big deal, since you used to have a very unstable aim from a car, which used to make it much harder to land your shots. Nowadays, this is not a problem unless you drive on extremely uneven terrain. 4. No need to lead your shots. While shooting from a vehicle, you do not need to lead your shots, as your bullets get no added horizontal velocity from your car. This means that all you have to do is aim directly on your enemy, while your enemy needs to lead his shots, which is significantly more difficult. 5. The driver often has more cover. While performing a drive-by, you will in most cases not have your entire body exposed to your enemy. Often, only part of your body will be exposed, and the rest will be covered by the vehicle, while your enemy could have his entire body exposed. And this will make it harder for the stationary target to hit consecutive shots, since he might hit your vehicle. And last, the vehicles no longer instantly blow up. Some patches ago, a 5-second timer was added when your vehicle was destroyed. This means that the driver will not instantly blow up. He can simply stop the car, go out, and then use the blown up vehicle for cover. The advantages that will often fall in favor of the stationary target will be the ability to reduce recoil by crouching, while also being able to use better cover. But if you, as the player performing the drive-by, can see that your enemy has good cover, you don't have to engage in the first place. Drive-bys are too strong, and in my opinion, the player performing it should never have the advantage. Drive-bys should be a situational skill move, not the meta. The second thing on my list is lean spamming while shooting. Leaning is a feature in the game designed to allow you to peek out from cover without exposing your entire body. But it has grown to be a huge part of the meta, where rapidly alternating left and right leaning while shooting gives the player the benefit of being harder to hit with no penalty to gun control. Sure, it does require some practice to be able to consistently land your shots while spamming your lean buttons, but in my opinion, it is too strong and should not be the way to play. I have previously made videos recommending players to do this because one of the purposes of this channel is to provide you with the best tips. But that doesn't mean I think you should be able to do it. While spamming leaning, there should either be diminishing returns, meaning that you can only do it very few times before your character is exhausted and needs to recover, or there should be a significant penalty to gun control, perhaps even a combination of both. I find the wiggle meta quite ridiculous, and I think this requires some attention from the devs. The next thing on my list is spam crouch dodging. 3 years ago, far before this was the meta, I released a video demonstrating this spam crouch dodging method, where you rapidly spam crouch while changing direction. This is a method that is an extremely effective way of dodging bullets if you get caught in the open, and it is still something I use frequently. But should you really be able to spam your crouch button with no penalty whatsoever? I don't think so. I like how they did it in Counter-Strike. The more you spam crouch, the slower the motion happens until you can't really do it anymore. This way of adding diminishing returns is great, as it allows for some quick crouching and standing in combat situations, but you won't be able to spam abuse it. And while you add up rapid leaning and crouch spamming, it all makes for some super goofy and awkward character movement that is arguably something that requires a good amount of skill to do well in combat. However, the benefit it does give you makes no sense to me. What is your top 3 nerfs required in PUBG? I only talk game mechanics here, but feel free to mention weapons too, and feel free to write this in the comments below. That's all for this video, guys. I hope you found it interesting, and I'll see you guys next time.